Breaking tonight, the Russian military continuing to strike targets across Ukraine as the world unites against Vladimir Putin. President Biden says freedom will prevail, but how and at what cost? I'm Lawrence Jones in for Kennedy tonight. As you know, the Russians last night officially began their invasion of Ukraine. Cruise missiles hit dozens of locations, including military bases, airports, and sadly some apartment buildings and other civilian targets. We're told 137 Ukrainians have been killed, and that number is expected to rise significantly. Today, President Biden had strong words for Putin.
Putin will be a pariah on the international stage. Any nation that countenances Russia's naked aggression against Ukraine will be stained by association. When the history of this era is written, Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger.
The president went on to say that NATO allies are in lockstep against Russia's disgraceful invasion. Watch.
The United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. And the good news is NATO is more united and more determined than ever. There is no doubt that the United States and every NATO ally will meet our Article 5 commitments, which says an attack on one is an attack on all. This was never about a genuine security concerns on their part. It was always about naked aggression, about Putin's desire for empire by any means necessary, by bullying Russia's neighbors through coercion and corruption, by changing borders by force, and ultimately by choosing a war without a cause.
This is a live look at the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv, where it is a little after 2 in the morning. The president there tonight signing an order for general mobilization of the population. That means anybody of fighting age must be ready to do just that. And industries must be ready to help. In other words, this could start to get very nasty very fast. So are the Ukrainians up for it? We have got every angle of this story covered. First tonight, Texas Republican Congressman, House Foreign Affairs Committee member, and U.S. Air Force veteran Congressman August Pfluger. Congressman, thank you so much for your service to the country. Let's get right into this. What does this mean for America? You had the former Secretary of State and the energy czar, John Kerry, saying today, I hope the President Putin will help us stay on track with respect to what we need to do for the climate. And many Americans are saying we could have been pumping oil right here in the United States.
Well, you're exactly right. And if the administration was truly worried about the climate, we would be pumping oil right here because we do it cleaner, more efficiently, and more affordable than Russia. And I think the point is, when I sat across from Zelensky just 3.5, 4 weeks ago, I asked him about the importance of Nord Stream, about the importance of energy security. And he said to me that he believed Russia would not have the leverage to invade had it not been for the Nord Stream project going on and being completed. So now is the time for President Biden to stand up, to lead. There are some sanctions that have been levied on Nord Stream, but we need to make it clear that American energy can help our partners and allies. That's why I introduced Midland over Moscow. It's time for President Biden to put domestic production in Midland, Texas over that of Moscow.
Congressman, why didn't the president make any sort of announcement on that front today, looking at the price of oil?
You know, you have to wonder what should have happened, and I've heard this throughout the day, and I totally agree with it, is the president should be rallying American production and asking producers here in the United States to ramp it up so that we can deliver it, an alternative to our allies and our partners, to give them some other choice besides that of Russian oil and gas. And we know that with 40+% of European needs coming from Russia, it's just enriching Putin at an astronomical rate with oil over $100. So that's exactly what should be happening. And oh, by the way, the climate remarks, I mean, that just shows you where the priorities are, and they're completely misguided.
Congressman, you were just there. What was the mood? I mean, everyone saw this coming. So what were the people saying to you as you were talking with the president, the prime minister, as well as going through the streets?
There was a sense of calm. I think that's exactly what President Zelensky intended to do to make sure that they didn't have a financial sell-off. He said something interesting. Zelensky told our congressional delegation, which was the last U.S. delegation to go over there before this very tragic event had happened. And he said, our borders matter. Our border security matters. We are going to fight for our freedom. Just 31 years ago, they got their freedom as a former Soviet Union state. And now they've tasted it and they want to be free. They want to be a part of Western democratic values. And I think I saw that on the streets as well. There's a lot of pride for the Ukrainian flag. And you get the sense that even though there was a sense of calm, they'd been invaded before. The threat of another invasion was not new. But we need strong leadership right now to come to the aid of the Ukrainian people. They're not asking for American troops on Ukrainian soil, but we need to be with them financially and with any other lethal aid that they can use to fight back against a bully.
You know, Congressman, I only have a few seconds left. What does the United States need to do right now for the Ukrainian people? You just said they're not calling for our boots to be on the ground. So what do they want from us? What do we need to do right now?
In any way possible that we can send lethal aid or financial assistance, that we can help with the terrible humanitarian crisis that's going to happen, and to make sure that our NATO allies are reinforced, that they know that our resolve is strong. The world is rooting Joe Biden on. We need him to be strong. He needs to bring America together. We're waiting to see that strength, and it needs to happen now.
Yeah, this flag that's on my left shoulder right here, it's about the country right now, not an anti-president message. We want what's best for the country. We also want what's best for Ukraine as well. Congressman, thanks so much for joining the program.